Well, that's weird. Uh, ah, Windows update. Windows update. That must have been why. uh, Windows update. The Windows update robbed me of my ability to talk for a second, and that sucks because I literally just. You know this. I always flub the opening, right? I forget what I want to say. I just kind of stumble. I ramble. This time it was fucking perfect. It was perfect. And Windows ruined it. They robbed me. Anyway, hi, hello, welcome to the opening of season 2 of Rose Guns Days. At last, because well, we only took a short break, but season 1 took a lot longer to read than I anticipated. Not that I'm complaining, because it was great. I enjoyed it a lot. But I'm very hyped for season 2. Hello, Kat, how are you doing? And yeah, Microsoft has robbed me of a lot of things. I won't lie, including the ability to see like the seconds when you double click on your time, your clock, just on in Windows, right? It, I like I what I used to do, right, when I had Windows 10 is I would open that window until the very second that if it's 15 minutes to I think I started streaming at 10 when I did Umineko. Anyway, I would plan my countdown down to the second, right? I can't do that anymore because they just don't show you the seconds, and I have to look on my phone, or it's a hassle. It's daylight robbery. But yes, that does not matter because we're here. It is time. I Okay, real talk, for the most part, Windows 11 is actually pretty good. You have to do some tweaking here and there and turn off things you don't like and stuff, and there's some really weird shit as well where some versions allow you to turn off or on things and other versions don't, including like the recommended section of the start menu. Like, I don't need this, let me turn it off. Now it will automatically enable it again because I have like a more specialized version of Windows 11 than like the I don't know anything about computers version. It's wild. But yeah, I mean, I could imagine it being. It's gonna take a while before this is like widely adopted, I think, especially with companies. Because yeah, not because it's bad or unstable or anything. It just, you gotta make sure shit works before you switch over. Yeah, I don't have a lot of complaints about it, but give me my seconds back and let me just disable things I don't need, please. It's so weird. It's such a weird choice. Anyway. One sec, real quick. They're enhancing my user experience by cutting my start menu in half and just leaving a section that I don't actually use or need or want in there. So it's not even that they're removing superfluous things, it's that they're adding absolute garbage for no reason. Just like Apple, yeah, just like Apple. Don't get me started on iPhone. I have one of those for work, and I wish I didn't. Hold on, I need to do a thing real quick. Yeah, Android is superior by far, you're totally right. Alright. Let us start with our usual content warning, which has not been updated for Season 2 yet, because I have not played Season 2 yet. But you can pretty much expect things to continue in a similar vein, I think. And I will follow that up with a disclaimer, as usual. So, Wayne will eternally be cringe. But much like nature during the meme thing, Wayne is healing. He might get a little better. Anyway, content warning for violence, gun violence, racism, sexual content including references to assault, misogyny, alcohol abuse, and that's it. Thankfully. Yeah, that should cover everything. However, if you want more specific content warnings, I add those to the YouTube videos because then, we'll have played it and we know exactly what's coming up. So I can just tell you, like, hey, here's some things you need to look out for. So if any of these subjects, kind of concern you, or if you just want more details for any reason, wait for the YouTube video. I post them within the week after recording this, usually on Tuesday or Wednesday, so a little less than a week behind. And they're on my channel. Yeah, if there's nothing extra in there, that means that there was no need to add anything, so keep that in mind as well. Okay. Now, we're starting Season 2 today. And I have a little... I took note of what happened last time, so we can have a little refresher for the new season. Which ended with... last season ended with... Stella and Meryl are maybe caught by Caleb and Miguel. We don't know that for sure, but maybe. Cyrus and Richard are in limbo. We do not know where they are. However, they likely have all of Primavera's money with them, which made Amanda in particular very mad, which was very satisfying to see, because I want her to be big mad about everything always. She does not deserve good things. just my opinion. Leo and Rose hauled up with Claudia at her house. And during like a stroll around town to sort of check, I don't even know really what he was doing, but Leo went out and ran into Wayne, who was being very emo. But eventually, Leo managed to talk some sense into him and get him kind of like back into gear, They did part ways. I forgot the word for part. It's part. And then when Leo goes back, at some point, Miguel's guys find them. They find Leo, they find Rose, they find Claudia. They go after Leo and Rose. In the process of this, they set Claudia's house on fire. I have to know if Claudia's house is okay. If this season does not answer that question, I'm going to be very disappointed. So we're all very worried about Claudia. Anyway, they go after Leo and Rose. At which point, Wayne comes in with a big damn hero moment, saves the day-ish. Because as a result of him showing up, Leo and Wayne can turn the tide against the goons and distract them so that Rose can run away. She refuses at first, but eventually she is convinced by the other two to just book it. And at that point we go back to modern day, where Julie is interviewing, I forgot her name, but the #1 lady of Primavera, who has a little aside with the #2 of Primavera, who, Jan, thank you. The #2 of Primavera turns out to be, and this is not a spoiler because this was confirmed, it turns out to be Wayne. So in the future, Wayne is no longer cringe, nor emo. And we love that for him, and for us. But yeah, Jean ends it off with a 1001 Nights sort of, oh, I'll tell you next time type of deal, So yeah. Julie goes home with the big scoop and the promise to come back at some point for the rest of the story. It was, yeah, thank you for remembering and for reminding me. That was very helpful. Okay, I need a big sip of water after all that. Alright. Alright. Let's, I'm kinda accurate. I almost just said old lady, which is, I don't know, that feels rude. How would you like to experience the fight scenes? Well, I did pretty okay for myself last time, so minigame it is. I don't know what this says. No. Good. Night. We'll go for the top one because this is night at the end, which just don't. So I'm gonna assume that this gives me Golden Eagle 1947. Yeah. Disclaimer. I'm not gonna read all this, it's too short. Like on screen, too short. And again, I have the money. Just saying, I've been saving up for this. Oh shit. Unceasing gunfire. The smell of gunpowder one can never escape, no matter how far you run. You run and run and run, but you never get away. But I mustn't turn back. I have to clear the path to the ideals I believe in using my own 2 feet. I'm sure I'll make it happen. So please, everyone, don't die for me. Ryoku, Wenku. Yep, that's roughly where we ended last time. Chapter 6. The Rose Stained with Mud. There was a strange scent in the air. By the time Rose realized it was the scent of incense, she was already more than half awake. How long have I been lying down in a place like this? She was in a small room overflowing with Chinese design. The light of the sun peeked in through the window. Apparently, it was already daytime. I'd been placed on a large, single-person sofa. Where could this be? You were attacked by the Caleb family's best at Claudia's store. Then, Leo-kun and Wayne-kun risked their lives to let me escape. I kept on running, lost in myself. Then, I was suddenly hit with a bright light, and my head went blank. That's right. My memory is coming back bit by bit. Men poured out of the car whose headlights were shining on me. I was caught. My lungs were about to explode. My head was blank with lack of oxygen. And then, a handkerchief with some sort of drug on it was pressed against my mouth, and I remember nothing after that. Where in the world? As I slowly rose from the sofa, the door softly opened as though it was waiting for me. Whoa. Let me make a quick note of a thingy for the YouTube video. It's White Orchid Dragon. Was it white? Not gonna lie, I forgot like all the names related to his organization. But there was definitely something like that. I remember there being like a golden in there somewhere. There's no tips window where I can look it up like in Mineko and stuff, but I will Google this. I'll look it up on the wiki. Anyway, what appeared there was one person and one creature. It was Meiju, his pet iguana on his shoulder. Meiju-san. I'm sorry to have scared you, Madam Rose. You were being chased, so there was no time to give you a polite welcome. Please forgive us for our rough methods. Where is this? Where are Leo-kun and the others? There's no need to be scared. This is Chinatown, one of my shops. Your friends are all here too. Do not worry. Okay, so Meiji was a real friend the whole time. That's good. As she followed behind Meiju, she was guided to the interior of a high-class restaurant. Maybe it wasn't open for business since there wasn't a single customer in sight. However, Rose's friends were sitting at a Chinese-style table in the center, and all rose to their feet when they saw her. Okay, hello. Gotta gear up for that Meryl voice. Excuse me. It's always so difficult because like I know how to do it, but I also know that sometimes it just doesn't work. I don't know why. My whole everything doesn't want to make the sound. So I'm just anticipating it sounding completely wrong. It's very awkward. For me, specifically. She is very high-pitched. I should have maybe toned it down, but like, if you look at her, I just look at her and see Lambda, so I knew I had to do the Lambda voice. And Lambda's high-pitched, I could not make her high-pitched.
Rose! I'm so glad you're safe.
There we go.
I was so worried. Are you okay? You aren't hurt, right? I'm fine. What about everyone else? Leo-kun? Wayne-kun?
It's true, I'm so glad they're okay.
Claudia?
Actual gasp of relief, because he wasn't in the lineup there, so I thought maybe something had happened, but no. I'm here.
Leo-kun. Thank goodness.
I'm sorry. Wayne isn't here with me. Since I'm here and he isn't, that means he saved me. After the fierce battle to let Rose escape, Leo and Wayne agreed that they'd bought her enough time and decided to retreat. However, it wouldn't be easy to get away with so many people surrounding them. So, Leo and Wayne had decided to run in opposite directions. If they split up, that alone would increase their chances of getting away. Even if one of them did get caught, they could still resist for a little while and give the other time to escape. After running like hell, I was surrounded by a bunch of Chinese people with guns who appeared out of nowhere and held me up. Wayne hadn't distracted those pursuers enough for me. I probably wouldn't be here.
Good. Then, Claudia too.
Considering the situation, it's highly probable that she was captured by the Caleb family. Wayne's a persistent guy. People like him don't die when they're killed. Cyrus? Yeah, okay. Anyway, if Wayne's or Claudia's bodies had been found, it should have reached Major Sun's ears. Apparently Wayne is immortal. Who knew? True edge never dies. At the very least, I've not heard anything of the sort. Since you managed to escape unharmed, Rose, there's no reason for those two to be killed. Nothing would be more convenient for those people than having an extra hostage. That's not really a great outcome either, I'll be honest. Considering, we know who is keeping hostage, or them hostage, sorry. Especially Miguel, I don't like him being around Claudia.
Don't worry. I'm sure they're alive. As long as they're alive, you got a chance of saving them. They won't be killed. Or me. I've got to save them.
Cat, you can't just... Oh my god. You're not wrong, but you shouldn't say it. The man's a menace. Yeah. Let's save them no matter what. At least for now. We should celebrate this long-awaited reunion. True.
What has everyone been doing up until now?
All of us have been under Major Sun's protection. Started out pretty brutal. Got thrown into a pitch-black underground room with nothing more than a blanket.
Something like that happened to us too. We had bags spread out over our heads and got treated like luggage. If only they said they were with Major Sun, we wouldn't have put up a fight.
Let me apologize again for the rough treatment you had to endure. We were forced to inconvenience you to prevent Caleb-san from finding out. In short, everyone else had been under the protection of Meiji's men since then. He had wanted to invite them to Chinatown right away and welcome them politely, but the Caleb family's eyes were sharp, so he had been forced to have them spend some time underground for a while. That was Meiji's explanation for the actions he had taken. Why does that sound sus, the way that that's phrased?
When you think of it, Ryukun's shoulder was shot, wasn't it? Weren't you injured?
I've got 4,000 years of Chinese medicine to thank on that count. Now I'm good as new. It hit a lucky spot. Even this guy's strong luck is something to be feared. Well now, everyone. I imagine you are quite hungry now. As they say, you cannot fight a war on an empty stomach. It made you signal plates of Chinese cooking that would stir up anyone's appetite, carried in one after another. Manju also took a seat, and everyone was able to share a decent meal together for the first time in a long while. Okay, my hypothesis, right, is that Meiju considered selling them off to Caleb, and that's why they're all like kept in underground rooms and caught like that. Because if you were planning on hiding them, you probably wouldn't, like, you could use a way more. This was definitely not the only way to do that. If you wanted to potentially sell them off and just hold them until you made up your mind on what to do, this would be the way to do that. Because, I mean, if they're potential, like, bargaining chips, you don't need to be gentle with them, you know? You don't need to be polite. So, yeah. Give me 1 sec, I have to check something. I just noticed something. Still here, but just hiding my screen. Okay. I forgot to toggle the thingy. Okay, should be good now. I think if you want an unambiguously good person, well, there's Rose. We got Rose. But I suspect that this is not that kind of story. We just have to hope out that Rose holds out to the end, honestly. Yeah, if it's other people, it's gonna be a tough one. Maybe Leo. He hasn't done anything bad, so. Just he is kind of the type of person to like punch his problems, and I wouldn't consider that like good necessarily. But hey, maybe there'll be less morally ambiguous characters. Probably. We'll see. Alright.
Meiji-san, thank you so much for helping everyone.
There's no need to thank me. We are friends. It is natural for friends to help each other. Okay, him saying that makes me think like he did not have any ulterior motives, but the ... there makes me doubt. I'm very suspicious. Maybe the true unambiguously good character is Meiji, and I'm just paranoid. However, are you certain about this? Surely your boss ordered you not to conceal us, as it might cause trouble between you and Caleb. Of course, I have strict orders from the young lord, specifically not to stir up any trouble with Caleb. In other words, one might take this as permission to do anything, as long as trouble is not stirred up. Okay. Now I'm less suspicious. Because then, right, what if it was like a deliberate misdirect? Because if you were seen being polite to them, or like handling them gently, right? When you're trying to hide everyone away. And Caleb gets wind of it. He's gonna be like, hey, yo, what are you doing? If any of Caleb's goons see that he's like putting bags over their head and stowing them away, that's gonna be different. So maybe it was all just for, like, you know, the optics of it. Oh, I guess maybe we'll find out. Who knows? That's... yeah, that's true. I don't... I don't know. Like, what would his plan have been if Caleb was like, "Hey, you need to hand over these people," you know? Anyway,
Andrew-san, I have a request. I believe my friends Wayne-kun and Claudia are being held by the Caleb family. Would you be willing to lend us your strength to save them? Andrew-san, I'd like to ask you the same thing.
the person who captured them was probably Miguel.
That's terrible. There's not a moment to lose.
See, Meryl gets it. Yeah, maybe it was. Yeah, I don't know what his plan would have been. But maybe it's like, if we're forced to hand them over, we will, because trouble. If we get away with it, then I don't know. Maybe it was something like that. Because then you can be like, "Oh yes, this was my plan all along, Caleb. I have some hostages for you. Here you go." But if nobody finds out, then you can be like, "Yo, hey, Primavera Club, I didn't stir any trouble, so this is fine, right?" This is interesting. I kind of hope that they never explain what his motivations are here, and it just stays in the dark forever, because then I can just think about it eternally. You hope it gets answered? Alright, well, one of us is going to get our wish, and not the other one. We'd like to save them right away, but we've got to find out where they're being held first. I understand. I will have the matter investigated. Major called for his subordinates and ordered them in rapid Chinese. I do hope they are unarmed. Unharmed, even.
To help me escape, both Wayne-kun and Claudia. Rose. Caleb is the one to be hated. None of this is your fault, Rose. I know. Because they believed in me, they were caught for my sake. It's my duty to save them, no matter what. To take responsibility for what happened to them. No. I will save them. By my own hands.
Rose spoke resolutely. Though she was in a difficult spot, she had regained her usual willpower. Well said. Thanks to that attitude, Wayne putting himself in danger had meaning.
Wayne-kun and Claudia put their lives on the line so I could escape. I have a responsibility to put my life on the line, the ideals they hoped for.
Everyone had imagined that Rose would be far more warning than this. This Rose that they had finally been reunited with was somehow different. Calm and composed didn't quite sum up the change in her. This was surely the resolve of someone carrying a burden. though it would probably take some time before they all realized it. Even so, they did notice that something about Rose had changed. Meiji-san, what should we do next? You might make yourselves at home here for a while. Your safety is guaranteed. As long as you remain inside this shop, that is.
In other words, you're saying we can't go outside?
Caleb put a bounty on Rose-san and Richardson. Even among the Chinese, there are many people out there looking to get rich quick. You would be wise to act with caution, even within Chinatown. Okay, that gives him another reason to be like really quick and covert about him picking everybody up. They got a bounty on their heads.
After all, we wouldn't want to cause you trouble.
Sounds like it'd be best not to wander around by the windows. What about making contact with the outside? My apologies, but I would appreciate it if you refrained. Who knows what might happen? Damn. Not much service in a padded cell, is there? We have no such intentions. If you are suffering any sort of inconvenience, please let us know whenever you like. For the time being, I would like you to relax as our guests.
Thank you, Meiji-san. We won't forget this.
The next time I go play at Primavera, I might ask for that extra special service I have heard of. Well now, do you have any other questions? Yeah, just one last one. This isn't a no smoking store, is it? For the Caleb family, which had its base in the harbor district, the village of storehouses near the harbor was extremely convenient. There was nowhere more well suited for hiding smuggled goods, making unsavory plans, or keeping hostages. I mean, he can survive not being able to smoke, I'm sure, but he'd probably prefer not to, along with, he'd probably prefer not to get shot too. And it is the 40s, so he's probably goofing anyway. I can't imagine there being a lot of, like, non-smoking establishments at that time. But maybe it's different. Maybe it's different in Japan. I don't know. I don't know. Smoking was good for you back then? Nah, I think at that point they already knew it was bad. Surely. Surely. Or at least, like, neutral. Smoking is neutral for you. It's definitely not. I mean, yeah. They were definitely selling the whole tobacco as medicine for a very long time. I'm not sure until when. That might be interesting to look into later. I will not add that as a fun fact to the YouTube because I'll probably forget. So keep that in mind. Honestly, even sometimes when I say I'll add this as a thing after, for the YouTube description, I usually forget. Sorry about that. It was burned to prevent crops from being damaged. But yeah, it is a good insecticide for sure. Not sure how well the plants fare with it, but, bugs hate that stuff. Doesn't mean it's good for people, though. They're all hardcore smokers, okay. Good to know. Alright.
Hey, girlie. They're reasonable people, unlike Miguel-san, see?
Oh no, not Claudia.
Where did your friends run off to? Won't you tell us? I've told you many times. I don't know.
Claudia was being questioned, her hands tied behind her back. Wayne was nowhere to be seen. Wayne and Claudia were being held in separate locations. If they had been together, then there'd be a slight chance of having both of them stolen away at some time. My. What a stubborn woman, even with that cute face. Hey, don't you have even a vague idea? Could they be at a friend's house or some sort of hideout? Just tell us the truth and you can go home unharmed. I keep saying unarmed instead of unharmed. The H is not silent. Or is it?
I'll never tell you. Bleh.
Yeah, go Claudia. Blah, indeed. It's not. Yeah, I know it's not. It'd be very confusing if it was.
Seriously, you know? Miguel-san's going to be coming over soon. He'll probably come to question you directly. That guy's hatred of women is insane. Even we wouldn't hit a girl's face. Even we wouldn't like to see a lovely girl like you get all cut up.
Okay, so don't hang out with a person like that then, like... Oh, Beans, there's this guy coming over and he sucks and we can't do anything about it because reasons. Nobody's making you do this.
I don't know anything. There's nothing for us to talk about. You know, you could just give us the names of a few of Rose's friends. If I say their names, those girls will be caught too and made to suffer, right? You made such a mess of my shop. Why would I give the names of my friends to people like that?
Claudia stuck her small tongue out at the men, which seemed to push them over the edge.
You little bitch, getting all cocky when you tried to play nice.
See? These guys are just as bad. I mean, they chose to be here. If you join a criminal organization, and you see a guy like Miguel, and you're like, this is fine, I'll stay. That's a you problem. That's on you. Just saying.
Stop that. It hurts.
Claudia was roughly lifted up by the collar, but someone tapped the man's shoulder from behind. That's no good. You've got to be gentle with girls. Didn't your mama teach you anything?
Madam Amanda.
Girls are delicate, you know. If you lose control for even a little bit, she might die. Don't you think Jesus Christ, Amanda. The father would be angry if one of his precious hostages died.
That's... yeah.
Amanda-san. Their motivations are definitely interesting to think about. I mean, they're probably part of the war buddy team, right? Like, they're there with their buddies, but I get the idea that most of the people that Caleb picked up are just kind of terrible people all around. And not necessarily people who are, you know, in a rough spot with no other choice. Like, a lot of them seem to delight in violence. But, I mean, even so, they have reasons for that, I'm sure. And anyway, we ladies of the evening wouldn't spill the beans just because of a little violence. Men truly are barbarians. Please take this girl to my car. Yes, madam.
Are you sure? Miguel-san told us to keep her locked in here.
Caleb has given me the okay. Do you have some objection?
No, of course not.
I don't think I trust Amanda with this necessarily.
You poor thing. They didn't do anything cruel to you, did they? Plenty of cruel things have already been done to me.
True enough. I'm sorry. You laugh and then you say you're sorry.
What do you intend to do with me? Would you rather be treated as a hostage or as my guest? As long as you stay put, I won't let you want for anything. They may be violent, but as long as you're at my place, I won't let them lay a finger on you. That alone I can promise you. So please, don't be afraid. Why are you protecting me? Though you may have quit the club, you are still a woman of Primavera. And I am Primavera's madam, whether you acknowledge it or not. I have a responsibility to protect you. And that doesn't extend to Meryl and Stella, apparently, because, well... It's no use pretending to be nice so you can get me to tell you something. I don't attend to anything of the sort. I already have a general idea of who is concealing Rose. They're more violent than... Yeah, they are more violent than Claudia by miles. The Black Dragon of the Golden Dragon Society, Lee Meiju. Quite a cunning man. You were very close. It's double dragons, also. If the occupying forces acknowledge Caleb as the ruler of City 23, Meiju will offer Rose to Caleb. Did I forget about that? Did they strike a deal? And did I totally forget about it? I guess we'll find out. I remember them talking and not reaching a deal, but I can't remember what the details were, I'll be honest. I'll have to rewatch. I'll have to rewatch my own video. Ugh. Anyway, moving on. On the other hand, if Caleb lets his true nature show, Meiju will use Rose as a figurehead to start a feud in the name of Primavera's reconstruction. No matter what happens, Chinatown can use Rose as a trump card. Even Caleb cannot touch them in Chinatown yet. For a while, Rose should be able to hide there safely. However, Meiju is heartless. If he finds himself under Caleb's rule, he'll kill Rose without hesitation. Why? He doesn't want Caleb to know that he's been hiding Rose, right? Of course, he'll silence her, and then offer Caleb her head alone. That's too... After all,
That child isn't capable of suspecting people. I do hope she doesn't trust Meiji too much. We're going to save Wade and Claudia, no matter the cost. Leave it to us, boss. They're probably somewhere in the harbor area. However, that place is practically Caleb's castle. Saving them won't be impossible, but we'll need a substantial supply of men and weapons. At worst, it could mean an all-out war with the Caleb family. I have no intention of fighting a war. Just find me a skilled assassin. Weren't we going to rescue them? The only trump cards in the enemy's possession that can kill the trump card called Rose are Wayne and Claudia. Wait, huh? That's not what you just said. All we need to do is make those two cards disappear from Caleb's hand. That's not what you just said, Meiji. That's not what you just said. Unless this is like a mislead. Yeah, they could kill Rose as a result in her getting killed, I assume. Because they can be used against her? But how, right? Is sending an assassin in to kill those two, which it sounds like he's doing at this point. That's not saving them. Although they can't be used as trump cards anymore, I guess, so they're saving them from like a worse fate in a way. Yeah, because she'll rely on Meiji more, and also Caleb won't have anything to use against her. So then, Meiji holds all the cards, right? Leave it to us, boss. We'll kill them, have no fear. That's not what saving means. That's not what saving means. I was, honestly, Amanda saying don't trust him made me trust him more, and instantly, instant betrayal. Yeah, she was right. Okay. Hostages only have value because they are alive. Rescuing them is difficult, but killing them is far easier. Wow. Well, it serves me right for briefly trusting you. Since that rainy day when he met Leo again in the marketplace, Wayne had undergone training from time to time. He abandoned his immature feelings of rivalry and decided to rebuild himself from the ground up. So there would never be a pathetic losing mutt again. I forgot the dog metaphor. Bad dog, wait, yep. 98. 99. 100. Nice going, young man. There's youth for you. This much is easy. I'm not even close to done. Let's leave it at that for today. Going too far will just damage your body. Since Leo had once been an instructor for new troops, His training was extremely efficient. It was all very new to Wayne, who didn't know any way to train except punching a sandbag. The One Punch Man workout routine. Hey, Leo, tell me something. Anything but my 3 sizes. You said that 3 things, heart, technique, and body, were important for being strong. I understand technique and body, but I don't get all this about heart. Don't tell me you mean sitting cross-legged and achieving enlightenment or something. It's nothing that dramatic. To put it simply, you might call it the power of the heart. I'm still lost. Is it something spiritual? No. It's much simpler than that. The heart is something like the gasoline for your engine. Without fuel, even the most powerful engine can't do anything. Also, the more fuel it has, the longer it can keep using its power. Isn't that obvious? Is it something like the power of anger? No. In your case, that's the exact opposite. You waste the gasoline of your heart on meaningless things. Meaningless things? Please, listen and try not to be offended. Wayne. You're actually easily frightened, aren't you? Of course I'm not easily frightened. It's not like... You have a habit of hiding your fear with anger. You use the gasoline of your heart to let your anger burn, so you can't use your engine at 100% efficiency. I'm never afraid. Sure, I may have been in the past, but these days I never feel even a trace of things like that. Though Wayne alternated between panic and uneasiness, he tried hard to regain his composure. What's the point in trying to act tough after all that's happened? Just throw away that cheap pride and become stronger. You may be right. You've managed to overcome it for now. However, you still have that habit. The bad habit of wasting the gasoline of your heart to fuel emotions needlessly. You're strengthening your body and your techniques, then use the same time to strengthen your heart. Don't waste the gasoline of your heart on cheap emotions. Store every last drop in your chest so that you can truly set it aflame when the time comes. Every last drop. That way, you'll become many times stronger than you are now. I feel mean now for being so hard on Wayne before. So, good writing, A plus 10 out of 10. I feel like dirt now. I feel bad. He needed this, yes. He probably didn't need all the dunking I did. Thankfully he's fictional and cannot hear me, but, oof. It's maybe a little too hard on him. Well, he's getting better, and that's good, and I'm happy for him. And he did call himself a rat and a dog a bunch of times, and say really edgy shit, and... yeah, because as much as I like dunk on him, I do think he's a fun character. But he was also a little shit, and a liability, and yes, I do want him to be better. And he's becoming better, and that's great. And that whole thing about, like your feelings basically being like fuel. That's actually great. I love that. And also the part where it's like, okay, but negative things fuel, that's just a waste of fuel? Like, I love that. He done did it again. Hey. Sorry, just fanboying. Yukishi's just a really good author. Alright, wake up, kid. The man poured a bucket of water on Wayne's face. Wayne finally regained consciousness. Wayne's hands were bound with handcuffs, which were hanging from a ceiling beam. His legs were unbound and could just barely touch the floor, but he was far from a position where he could offer any resistance. Oof. Morning, Wayne. You know, for as much as I struggle with the Meryl voice, Miguel just rolls out. And he kicked several doors down on the way. Holy sh, that was instant. I think last time I still struggled with it, but apparently not anymore. He wants to be free. Thanks to you, Rose managed to get away completely. Guess that leaves you looking pretty pathetic. Watch your mouth, you little shit. Hey, Wayne. Won't you tell me where Rose ran off to? Like I'd know. Like I'd tell you if I did know. True, but of course. Maybe I should explain what's going on here since you don't seem to have a clue. It's simple. You got a good scolding from Caleb because you let Rosan get away, and now you're taking it out on me. You know, you weren't our only hostage. We've got Claudia too. Claudia's enough to lure Rose out. If he wanted, we could let you live, let you die, boil you, or cook you. What Miguel said was a fact. It was good to have as many hostages as possible, but one was enough. There was no reason for them to let a man with the menacing nickname Mad Dog Wayne live. Wayne understood that. If one of those people pointed their gun and held the trigger a little too tightly, it'd all be over. He knew that. He knew that he was standing on his toes on the edge of the cliff called life. I love that Wayne's inner monologue is edgier than the other, like, the inner monologue of the other characters. I love that so much. And he's like, yeah, of course they can't let Mad Dog Wayne live, and he named himself that. It's actually adorable. It's so cute. The back halves of his feet were already stepping into death. He was hit with a desire to burst out with rage, to shake off the fear of unbearable death. Raging, shrieking, howling. All kinds of fierce emotions leapt up into his throat. Don't waste the gasoline of your heart on cheap emotions. He could feel the emotions balled up in his throat fade away as if they had never been there. He'd managed to overcome one of his weaknesses. The feel of that made him actually want to grin. You don't want to die, right? Then I'll give you a chance. Tell me where Rose and the others have their hideout. If you don't know, you could just give me a guess. I could actually tell you. That's the only way you're going to survive this, right? Are you really so stupid that you can't even understand that? Maybe. I'm pretty slow on the uptake. I see. It's just like Leo said. By holding back your fierce emotions, your brain starts working. This just in, breaking news. Local emo edgy boy starts to use his brain. I'm actually genuinely so proud of him. But that's also really funny, I'm sorry. I take it back, the dunking was deserved. But, it was all done with love, and it still is. I know I haven't been killed yet. Surely, they're completely stuck, without a clue about where Roseanne is hiding. That's why they had to keep me alive and make me talk. In other words, they have no idea what to do, and they're panicking. While that happens, Roseanne and the others will surely make some sort of move. That's right. Right now, we're winning. From the moment I helped Roseanne get away safely, I've been winning.
What are you laughing at?
Just the pathetic face of someone who was just a step away from catching Roseanne. And anyway, I'm winning. Winning? That's right. From the moment I let Roseanne and Leo escape, I've been winning.
Even though you're practically hanging from your wrists. Who's supposed to be winning?
He added another adjective. He added another adjective. Me. The great mad dog Wayne. I'm not hanging here because I surrendered. I'm here because I won and finished doing my part. I'm the victor for letting Roseanne get away, and you're the loser for letting her escape. Oh shit, no, don't. Wayne, that's like his oh no. Oh no. He's gonna set him off. Why should I, the victor, tell anything to you, the loser? Feels like this guy doesn't get the position he's in.
He does seem a little slow. Why don't we wake him up a little?
Oh? It didn't work? Okay. I thought Miguel would like fly off the handle, I'll be honest. The men pulled out some leather batons known as blackjacks and grinned repulsively. For us, this is torture, but
For you, I guess it's just the loser venting his feelings.
you guys have got nothing better to do except hit me, right? Pretty pathetic. Hey, Wayne sounds a little bit like Leo now. It's interesting.
Let's see how long that confidence lasts you.
I'll take good care of you, kid. Oof. Oh? Oh. Who? Leo slowly lowered his gun and looked at the bullet holes in the silhouette target. The restaurant they were hiding in may have been a restaurant above ground, but it apparently wasn't that underground. It had a small weapons storehouse along with a shooting range. After getting Meiju's permission, Leo had started practicing there.
You're really good with a gun too, aren't you, Leo-kun?
Anyone can get good at practice.
Do you think even I could do it?
Do you want to learn how to shoot?
Yeah. I'm always being protected by other people. If I could shoot guns too, then I might have been able to save Wayne-kun and Claudia too.
A hard, determined glint lay in Rose's eyes. If Leah refused, she'd probably try to teach herself on her own. If I refuse and you started touching things yourself, you might lose a finger. Guess I'll teach you. Step by step.
Thank you.
However, I'd like you to promise me one thing.
Promise you.
Promise me you'll never even think about fighting alone. We fire our guns to protect you, Rose. In the same way, you should use your gun to protect yourself. If you use learning how to shoot as a reason to leap to your own death, that defeats the whole purpose. Never fight alone. If you can promise me that, I'll teach you. However, if you break that promise,
If I break it?
I get to have you to myself for one night. Leo? What? It's the butler technique, you're right. You're a lady of the evening, aren't you? Don't go all red.
I really hate jokes like that.
Your spirit's finally risen a bit. It really is the butler technique, because he's also playing it off as a joke.
I've been in high spirits the whole time. I can't keep sitting around while Wayne Kun and Claudia are being held.
Leo had the same desire to save Wayne and Claudia as soon as possible. However, they didn't have any information at the moment. They could only wait here. That didn't mean they had to sit around doing nothing, though. Sure, I'll teach you.
Thank you.
It was the first time Rose had even touched a gun. As he saw her timidly touch it, Leo felt his heart hurt slightly, as though he was stealing her virginity. However, no one can remain a child forever. Children don't need to fire guns, as adults use guns to protect them. Or I know in some countries nobody has any guns at all. Just saying. This is like post-war, overtaken by Americans sort of territory stuff. It makes sense. Once you've decided to protect someone else, you can't remain a child anymore. She was trying to become a full adult, with a full adult's ideals. It's not as though guns are only used for shooting people. Shooting in someone's general direction, to make them pull back their head as you escape, is a fine way to use a gun.
So, guns can be used for more than killing people.
That's right. You can even shoot towards your enemies to get their attention and save your friends in a pinch.
You can even save people with guns.
That's right.
I've always thought of guns as something filthy. Each time you pull the trigger, someone loses their life. So, on the inside, I might have felt contempt for all people who use guns.
Girl, same. You weren't wrong there. Anyone who treats a gun like a toy isn't to be trusted.
However, by pulling the trigger, guns also have the power to save people.
When it comes down to it, guns are tools. If a crazed person holds it, it can become an accursed tool. However, if a holy lady takes it with justice and conviction, it can become a tool to protect the peace. So basically you have to just teach her to aim really well and it'll be fine, I guess. Because then she can, avoid hitting people.
I'm a lady of the evening. I could never become a holy lady. However, if it's to protect the people who believed in me, I have a responsibility to keep them safe. Today, I will learn how to use a gun to protect my friends and countrymen.
Feels like someone should start throwing confetti and celebrating. What? Wait, I wasn't ready. You shot me. I was not prepared. Oh my god. The timer is also really short, so you're more likely to fuck up here. Which, oh, it's getting longer. It's like a good representation of her, like, getting better over time, actually. That's neat, I like that. Wait. Wait. Okay, look at this. It's Golden Eagle 1947, but now the eagle has guns. The eagle has guns. Oh, that's amazing. That's beautiful. Still don't know if that means I did good or bad, but beautiful. That's so funny. To step forward into a new self. Rose pulled the trigger over and over again. And yeah, 1947 is definitely for the year. Because I think that's just always there. That's just, yeah. They gave the eagle 2 guns. That's hilarious. To step forward into a new self, Rose pulled the trigger over and over again. Even so, it seemed like she couldn't wipe away all of the disgust she felt for guns in general. To Leo, it didn't look like someone trying to get used to guns, but someone preparing to dirty her hands using guns. It was a ceremony to defile the self that had never held a gun before. The men should have been the ones carrying guns, so that women didn't have to. But maybe that was just an excuse from before the war. Perhaps it was a remnant of male supremacy. This was a new era. An era where women would dirty their own hands to clear a path to the future. Leo joined Rose in staring straight ahead, watching the back of the woman who was trying to clear a path towards a new future. Let's leave it at that. Gotten a lot better.
Thank you for teaching me. I wonder if this will make me a bit less of a burden.
You've never been one.
Thanks.
It'll be good for you to practice every now and then. It's a perfect way to relieve your stress.
You're good at teaching, Leo-kun. I heard from Cyrus. You were an instructor You were an instructor for new troops during the war, weren't you?
Pretty much. That takes me back. Leo turned his back to Rose and pointed his gun at the target again.
But earlier you said you fought in a country to the south. Isn't training new troops something you do inside the country? Oh, or were you an instructor here before being sent down south?
Nope, it was both of those. I did my part as an instructor in a country to the south. Leo's gun let out a crisp sound as it fired. Did they have, like, ear protection? I forget, like, earmuffs, but, like, the ones that aren't made for winter but are there to protect your ears. There's a different word for that, right? Not that I know it. Yeah, they definitely need them. Ear defenders, yeah. Unless it's like the guns are less loud then, but I doubt that. Unless they all already have hearing damage from all the gunfire that happens around them all the time. It's probably that one. A small hole opened up in the forehead of the silhouette target. Oh, okay, okay. So that's the official term. That's good to know.
Were your students really good?
Yeah. All of them were simply excellent.
Oh. Sorry.
Rose didn't miss it when Leo's tone darkened slightly. She instantly regretted stepping into a subject that ought not be brought up. Surely, the students had gone onto the battlefield after that and died. It must be painful to lose students who made it through joys and sorrows with you. No. They're all alive.
Oh. They are?
After all, the enemy never attacked until Japan surrendered and pulled out.
I see. It's wonderful that they're all alive.
I promised them all sorts of things. They all believed innocently in what I said. They stuck through the harshest training, talking about their dreams.
That sounds pretty wonderful.
Not at all. I broke my promise with them. I'll protect you, I'll make your dreams come true. Even though I promised them that, I betrayed them myself. Once again, a crisp sound rang out. Unlike the bullet that had accurately pierced the target's forehead, this one only barely managed to graze the target. Rose had no way of understanding what had happened in that country to the south. However, even that easygoing Leo had received deep wounds during the war. Of course he had. Rose regretted not being able to realize that before now. I know that Japan surrendered and the war ended. However, I'm the same as Caleb. My war isn't over. There's only one way to end it. I understand. I do understand.
Leo-kun.
I don't want to break a promise again. I'm a bodyguard of Primavera who swore to protect Madame Rose. This time, I'll fulfill just that promise.
Leo-kun.
Rose gently held Leo's back. Both the disaster and the war. Far too many things have happened. Everyone is bearing deep wounds in their heart. Didn't I decide to step into this world myself to heal those wounds even a little bit? Maybe I've been thinking of myself as the most unfortunate, tragic heroine in the world. However, everyone's unfortunate. Everyone's hurting. Even Leo, with his never-ending bold smile, is suffering from wounds of the heart that still haven't healed. He called me a light in a dark era. My eyes are looking towards their ideal homeland. I walk, it will form a path. When Leo-kun and Wayne-kun said that, There's no doubt they were prepared to give up their lives.
I will become strong. Instead of letting people be hurt, I want the strength to accept those wounds myself. I can't sit around depressed forever, right? I am Madame Rose. I don't just want to save everyone in Primavera. I want to save all of my countrymen. We're in a very painful situation right now, but we still have a responsibility to give it our all.
You're much stronger than someone like me, Rose.
I will definitely end your war, Leo-kun. I'm sure I'll be able to bear the wounds in your heart, too.
Thanks. Rose walked closer, stretched, and kissed Leo lightly on the cheek.
A nihilistic grin suits you best, Leo Shishigami.
This time, Leo kissed Rose on the cheek. And a wonderful smile suits you best, Rose Haibara.
Yeah.
Rose's face was bright and clear, as though the clouds that had been covering it this whole time were swept away. Leo couldn't help but feel a sense of true reliability from her. Aw, that was adorable. I need some water, hold up. During that scene, it went from like, feels a little gravelly to, I think I consumed sandpaper. So, yeah, I think it's a good time for a break real quick. And it did go from sad to happy, yeah. Yeah, we're back. Big time. A single car entered a dim alley in the middle of the night. As it did, a car sitting on the side of the road flashed its lights once as a signal. The entering car repeated the signal, and men got out of the two cars. They were both bosses under the Caleb family. Hey, long time no see. Bastard. What you think you're doing? Call me to a dump like this. Is there anything anywhere left in this city that isn't a dump? You know what I'm talking about, right? City 23 is finished. Might be. Caleb's been squeezing everybody dry after all. Yeah, I guess these guys managed to bring in the money. 100 million is just an insane number. And anyway, those occupying forces guys never deal with Japanese people like us. So, what are you trying to tell me? There's just one thing I'd like to ask. Are you the kind of moron that's staying around on a sinking ship, or aren't you? You think Caleb's son's on his way out? There's no doubt he's a pretty incredible person. However, he's been too rough. Went a bit too far. That's what we've been saying from the beginning. We're ticks on this town. We live by sucking its blood. We suck too much and kill the city, we go down with it. They may have been villains, but they were fully aware of their position as parasites. So, in the past, they had kept their turf fees and protection money to a level that the city dwellers could afford to pay. If you have a chicken that lays eggs every day, you should be satisfied with just the eggs. If you kill the chicken because you want to eat meat, you'll never be able to get anything from it again. However, with its unreasonable order to gather $100 million, the Caleb family had gone around killing the chickens of City 23. true, you're right. That did kill the last boss. These guys are next, I'm sure.
Caleb's been acting like a huge fool, tearing the planks off the bottom of his boat to use for firewood. And just what'll happen to us when that boat sinks?
We should, move over to a lifeboat.
With nothing but the clothes on our backs. You're no fool, you'll move whatever you can grab right now into the boat with you.
I got your point. Where are you gonna run to? Even a lifeboat can't just bob on the waves forever. We need a harbor that'll accept us.
I won't go into details, but I've heard from a certain family in another city.
Their conditions?
Half of the money we scraped together. But 50 million. We'll split up the other half.
Will this family really accept us?
I guarantee it. They're planning to push into City 23 someday. When they do, they'll need someone highly ranked with some local knowledge. They're an American mafia, but the couple who's gonna back us is Japanese. He actually came in the same time as me. A nice guy. I'm sure you'll get along with him too.
Oh snap, they're trying to get, they're going after the full amount, huh? We heard something about the mafia in, was it City 22? Was that the Chinese, or was City 22 and fully in Chinese control? Something like this came up, like another group planning to move in on 23. Was it 24? It was 24 or 23. One of them was fully in occupying forces, Chinese control. There's a lot going on here in terms of like plot and political stuff, and my brain kind of tuned some of it out, so I'm not very good at remembering it, sadly. But hey, we'll find out. We'll just float where the plot takes us. I see. So, we finally gathered $100 million.
Congrats, Caleb. We finally did it.
This is truly a delight, Father. Now we can finally push our way into the occupying forces. Well done. Very well done, men. Now we can finally take that special offers window. The special offers window was a Shadow Dweller's privilege, the power to get first pickings at business orders from the occupying forces. He could just ditch and live a good life in another country like those other two dudes are trying to. But he has principles, you know, his war buddies. But there's a good chance that the Americans are just gonna be like, yeah, you know, this isn't enough. We're kind of a big deal. We need more. I don't know if he's even considered that. You hope they do? That's the same little, yeah. The foreign mafia and corrupt politicians who had that power were using it to swindle the workers out of their wages. Caleb had gone to extremes to obtain that right and protect the laborers' pay.
That way, we'll finally be able to save our war buddies, won't we?
Yes, we will. We'll make wages for jobs increase and everyone will prosper. This is what Rose was doing already on a smaller scale? Just pointing that out. Until inflation goes up. Oh god. Oh no. Decent jobs at decent wages, for decent food and decent living conditions. Although if you are in control of the job market to a degree, then you could negotiate for higher wages if there is inflation. So in that sense, long term, not a bad plan. Minus the everything that was bad about this plan. Which was a lot. Eat the rich, you're right. It's been a while since we had a good hearty Eat the Rich on the stream. So, there you go, there it is. Thank you for saying Eat the Rich. Men will be able to take back their duty and their pride of supporting their households. Yes, we do. I'll get going on that ASAP. And then, eventually, they'll be able to take back the lives and lifestyles they lost in the war. That way, I'll finally be able to end my war. Caleb was staring up at the ceiling, his fists shaking. Every time she calls him Father Caleb, my soul dies. Congratulations, Father Caleb. When Amanda clapped her hands, everyone followed suit. God, I'm not saying that out loud, but basically. Surrounded by a quiet applause, Caleb closed his eyes for a while. Contact Butler. Tell him we prepared 100 million. We've kept our end of the promise. Now it's time for them to honor their end. You didn't get it in writing, bud. Yes, Father. However, Father, will they really deal with us? What's that? What are you talking about? They'll deal. After all, we gathered 100 million, just like they said. Exactly. If we could do that, they would acknowledge us as their partners. That was the promise. And that is a promise, a battle that we have won. This is now a promise between me and the occupying forces. No, between men. I fulfilled my obligation of gathering 100 million. So, they're now obligated to respond with their end of the deal. Okay, but why though? Right? Like, what's... You no guarantee, like... They can basically do whatever the fuck they want. Hello? Sorry to keep you waiting. This is Butler. That's right. I was just contacted by the Caleb family. They said they've collected 100 million, so now it's time for us to keep our end of the deal. Yes, that's right. They've gone to very excessive lengths to gather up that 100 million. That has caused quite a lot of friction in various quarters. And that doesn't include just city dwellers, but their own core members as well. Now that the Caleb family's crossed the line, they're just like a puffed up balloon. Just poke the one point called Caleb and boom. That's all. Yes. It would be possible now. If we get rid of that one person, the Caleb family will collapse in pieces. Butler set down the receiver. His right-hand officers were standing at the ready in the same room. The Director General has given the go for assassination. Caleb will bring the money here on Friday. On his way back, we'll do it. Understood. We'll get some snipers ready. Damn. I'll take Caleb to his car. When I drop my glove, that will be the signal. Understood. Still, those geezers really are greedy, aren't they? You got that right. They get him to bring in the money and then offer him bullets as a parting gift. We can't let it get out that we are the ones behind this. After the sniping, we could just tell them that an organization in some other city apparently sent in a hitman. As long as Caleb disappears, the family will split right away. Then, the maggots can crush each other however they like. And we can get things to quiet down in City 23. Thanks to the Caleb family's violence, the Japanese city dwellers will leave, and the Japanese mafia will disappear too. And once City 23 is quiet, we can trick low-income earners in the States into thinking this is a glorious new frontier. Wow, that is devious. You just turn the whole place into a ghost town and then convince, like, not well-off people from the United States to just pack up and move here? Wow. Getting them to start immigrating over, one after another, once again. And exploit poor people for slave labor, yeah. Yikes. Yep, here it is. Then they'll get worked to the bone for low wages, and those damn geezers will fill their pockets more and more. How sad it is to be a servant of the court. Wish I could go have a drink at Primavera again. Unless I get a look at Rose-chan's beautiful eyes, I might suffocate on my own vomit. I wonder how Rose-chan's doing. Was that girl who wanted to save her countrymen just a dreamer? Or... could she become City 23's Jeanne d'Arc? Probably not the same Jeanne. You think so? You think so? You think so? Maybe? Maybe not. Maybe? Maybe not. I mean, there was also that talk of her not being able to become a holy lady, right? Oh, you mean... yeah, she's probably not going to get burned at the stake for being a witch, but she might, go through some trouble, pick up a pseudonym, and live to a ripe old age, and then do an interview, maybe? Maybe. I'm guessing, by the way, this is not a spoiler. I'm guessing. I could be extremely wrong about this. Yeah, she might... does she dye her hair, or does she just, you know, is that just what pink hair looks like when you get old? Maybe that's just how the natural state of being at advanced age, you know? When it goes gray, it goes blue, yeah. Because of some pigment bullshit, I don't know. I'm just saying, that's my theory. Yeah. My guess is, because, like, they name dropped Wayne at the end last time as well. And he's so, like, blindly devoted to Rose. The new Rose, or the new Madam of the Primavera, would have to be pretty fucking great to convince him to, you know, be her second in command, right? Or it's just Rose. Or that. And at one point, we're gonna find out if I'm right or not. And if I am, I'm gonna be like, ha! I called it! You know. and I'll do a little dance. I won't literally do a little dance because it's gonna fuck up my tracking, but little mental dance. I also really hope so. Alright, I'm going to save the game here. Yes, I'm going to bob my head in celebration and do this. I will jiggle around randomly in celebration. As us VTubers do. So, it's all most of us have. I don't even have legs. Most of them do have legs. I don't. There's nothing down there. Anyway. Yeah, it's just void. Yep. That's how that works. Okay, I saved the game. Somewhere at the halfway point for sure. Especially, I don't have hands either. My other model has hands. This one doesn't. Because it's not necessary really, so why bother, right? Anyway. Yeah. Let's get some tunes for the outro. That was a really fun episode. I had a lot of fun reading, and I hope that came across. I think it did. I'm very, very excited. I'm very excited to play Season 2 and see where everything goes, and at this point I suspect that Caleb might, you know, be dealt with fairly early on, like Alfred was... Alfred? Like Alfred was last season, right? I think Caleb might be dealt with fairly early on, and then someone new is gonna move in. I think that's where it's gonna go. And I'm very excited for that, because I'm still not over the betrayal of Caleb, actually. Still not over it. Still heartbroken. I wanted him to be a good guy so badly. Or at least like a bad guy with like good motivations, and he just blew off the handle. And I still think Alfred was worse because he seemed to be bad for funsies. Although you make a good point that Alfred didn't hide that he was bad and Caleb does. Like he pretends to be a good guy. That is worse, you're right. You're right. And the betrayal makes it even worse, so yeah, Caleb is the worst guy out of the two. Sadly. Yeah, he might be around for the rest of the season, he might, you know, get assassinated by who even knows at this point. It wouldn't surprise me if Meiji was actually gonna make an attempt either, I'll be honest. It's like, what an opportunity, right? You have someone in your grasp, basically, who wants you to save two people, and you have this one dude who, if you take him out, his whole deal falls apart. So like, if they send an assassin after Caleb, they could even get the 100 million if they want. Yeah, they do need to be fed. Caleb and Miguel both need to be fed to the iguanas, you're right. And Amanda too while we're at it. Whom I don't trust with Claudia, by the way. That is sus. I don't like it. But Claudia knows that it's suspicious as fuck, so... hopefully. Oh, that reminds me. I actually thought initially, right? Because of Jean's hair color. And then I saw Amanda's character model and I thought, oh, is that like her at an older age? But I don't think Amanda's gonna live through the plot, I'll be honest. She's not gonna make it to modern day. Right? Because of the blue hair. Iguanas aren't carnivores? Well, dang. I Well, too bad. Maybe we can find some other creature to feed them to. Yeah, personality-wise, John and Amanda are not the same at all. And there's definitely old person niceness, but I do think Jean is kind of like sharp at the same time. Which is why I think it's more exciting that she turns out to be Rose, right? I think that would be really cool. Because an old lady Rose, it got really sassy. That would be cool, I like that idea. Sean's gonna give you a Werther's original, and if it was a banda, she'd give you one and watch you choke. Oh my god. That is the most accurate description of two characters I've ever read in my life. Wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Brings a tear to my eye. Good job. Okay, you know what? We're gonna end it on that note. I cannot top that no matter what I say. That's perfect. That's what we're gonna close this episode off with. And it's a good one. Damn, Kat, you're on fire with the comments today. Wow. First off, thank you for being here today. You specifically, and thank you anyone else watching, whether it's live right now or you're watching a VOD. Thank you for watching. I had a lot of fun this episode, and next week is gonna be also a lot of fun. I'm certain we might even get to see an assassination. Wow. That shouldn't be exciting, but given the target, it kind of is. Yeah. Actually, wow. I know that's mean, but he deserves it. For betraying me by being really hot and then turning out to be evil. Sorry. I'm not wrong though. Anyway. We'll be back next week. And yeah, we're definitely gonna get more Leo backstory at some point. Maybe next week? It'll probably take a bit longer. His relationship with the Rose is gonna continue too, I think. Like, it's gonna maybe grow into something more at some point. They're very cute together, I like it. I like the idea of that. I really don't think he would... maybe. That's not really how I read it. I read it more as like... he promised them something, and I don't know, maybe it's like he promised them they'd get to do something. I don't, because he said protected, huh? Because my initial thought was right. Maybe he promised them they'd get sent off to war and do something like a glorious battle, that kind of thing, right? And then they didn't get shipped out, or that nobody ever attacked, right? Or maybe it's maybe it is something like he promised them something and they didn't get it or taken clips. Yeah, I don't know. They are all alive still, so this could go in all kinds of ways. We'll definitely find out at some point. And yeah, I'm really curious. Maybe some of Caleb's goons were people that he used to know, but I think at some point he said that, oh no, they're all really far away. Maybe they're in another city and planning to move in on City 23. Maybe they joined a mafia of some kind. I don't know, it's all guesswork at this point. We'll find out eventually. The guessing is fun though. If you want to do more guessing, we have a Discord. You can join that and just throw your theories in there. Don't forget to say hi. The link is on the About page of my Twitch channel. I should also add it to YouTube, I guess. I will do that. I will put it somewhere. I don't know yet. I'm gonna also be back on Wednesday next week with a normal stream. I don't know what I'll do yet. I'll probably play Shadow of Doubt. Shadows of Doubt. Because it's fun. I might actually play a different game. Shadows of Doubt is like a roguelike-ish. It's not roguelike-ish, what am I talking about? It's a stealth game / survival game. It has nothing to do with being roguelike, though the levels are procedurally generated, and you solve murders and other crimes. And sometimes you do crimes. And sometimes, because this is a game made by one person, you fall through the world and break your knees on like the bottom of the world, underneath the city. And then you have to break out of hospital because you're poor. And you can't pay your medical bills. So it's like a film noir, bleak kind of setting. So falling through the world and breaking your knees is actually very fitting for the... Well, no, not the breaking your knees part, the not being able to pay your medical bills and having to break out of a hospital. Very suitable for the theme. Yeah, it's... Generally, it works super well for something that was made by one person. But there are some bugs. They're working on it. They're doing their best. Yeah, I mean, it's also like a scale thing, I think, with World of Warcraft. Though I worked in QA for a bit, and collision checking is it's a huge task and it's super boring. And weirdly easy to miss stuff. Like it's you can have weird interactions between objects, and it's a whole thing. So I kind of get why you can fall through the world in some parts of World of Warcraft. I totally get that. Okay. Yes. No. For realsies this time. I'm signing off. God, I hope they make AI to do that so that QA people have more time to do useful shit. But don't take their jobs. Okay. But yeah. Back again on Wednesday. Back again with Rose Guns Days on Thursday. 8 PM Amsterdam time. Check out my YouTube channel. I'm regularly posting on there now. We also have that Discord that I mentioned. And regardless of all that, thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time. Have a good day, week, year, month, eternity. And see you again next time. Bye bye.